Amazing.
We're going to the Omni is where we're going. So.
It's true.
Hey,
No,
they
there's
got
more in
that's because they
Florida.
know. They've lived a life to know what this thing is at that point.
Most of them are in Florida.
Just like Florida, they go
You got
there.
a text message from Bob.
Vacation.
No, it did not. Most permanent one.
Well, no, you're not, you won't be calling me snowbirds, that's for sure.
Had a lot of people in Florida. And you can't even see the people.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the August 7th, 2017 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Glenn Conklin.
Present.
Scott Dyke.
Here.
John Verche.
Here.
Barbara Scolaire. Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Marco Cola DiPietro.
Here.
Nate Albert.
Here.
Tom Inman.
Here.
Okay, for the record, I did receive a text late this afternoon from Alderwoman Scolaire. She's a little bit under the weather, so she is excused for this evening's meeting. You have before you the minutes of the regular city council meeting held on July 17, 2017. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Inman, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion for the minutes? Roll call, please.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Marco Cola DiPietro.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we do not have any business promotions this evening, so we will go ahead with the agenda as listed. We will go to our city administrator, Heather McGuire. Good evening, Heather.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have two agenda items for approval this evening. The first, as discussed at the work session on July 31st, is an ordinance amending Section 9.39.010 of Title IX of the City of Crest Hill Code of Ordinances in relation to the possession of open alcohol while in a public location. This is a cleanup item that we came across as we were looking through city ordinances, that we do not currently have anything that prohibits open containers of alcohol in public places. So something we just wanted to clean up here between the administration and the police department. So I'd be seeking approval this evening.
Motion would be in order.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Verche, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Cola DiPietro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1741.
Thank you. And the final item I have is a resolution establishing a 50/50 tree program for the city of Crest Hill. As we have discussed in multiple work sessions, the city of Crest Hill historically has had a forestry program whereby we offer residents a purchase of a tree at a 50/50 cost sharing with the city. We did suspend the program a few years ago due to the emerald ash borer and trying to clean up all of those trees. So we have discussed implementing that program again citywide. And just to give some brief information for the public's knowledge, we will be implementing it for this year, and that will be open to all residents. But moving forward, starting in the 2018 year, we will be dividing any budgeted funds equally between Ward 1 through 4 if applications are received prior to July 1st, and then opening it up to the entire city after July 1st. The entire guidelines for the program will be published on the website tomorrow. This will go on the cable scroll, as well as the application will go on the website. City Clerk's office will also have copies of the application available that does detail all of the specific trees as well as the restrictions that will be part of this program. If anybody does have any questions, please call City Hall and we will do our best to answer them. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions on this resolution, but I am also seeking approval of that resolution this
So-
evening.
When they have, like, for the Ivory Silk Japanese Tree Parkway application with height, so they can go in the parkways if it's approved for those things,
That is
basically. That's what
correct.
that-
So the field will
okay.
work with the Public Works Department to
Okay.
ensure they meet the standards.
And as far as the, calling the, Julie, did I miss that?
The owner is technically responsible for calling Julie. However, we have worked with the fields. The fields always does contact
Okay.
Julie to ensure that they are located before they do any plantings.
I thought we said it was only private property that they have to contact Julie. not-
Correct. If it's on the
Okay.
parkway, then the city will work with the fields to make sure
Okay.
Julie is located.
I just hope we tell the residents so they're aware of that. I don't want us to have any issues.
We'll make sure to
Thank you.
translate that as
So
well.
moved as presented.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
Marco Cole Pietro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes, yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number is 999.
Thank you. That was the last item I had for approval this evening. The report is in your packet. And for the public's knowledge, we will be having a work session on August 14th. Current topics include MFT crack filling bids, 2631 Renwick Road liquor license, and a presentation by the Hitchcock Group. To be happy to answer any other questions this evening.
Any questions of City Administrator? Thanks, Heather. Moving on, Public Works Department, our Director of Public Works, Tony Terez. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I have two items seeking approval for your consideration. First one is the MFT 2017-2018 Sidewalk Replacement Removal Program. We received 5 bids. Bids were open on July 20th. The low bid was a company by the name of Burnick Commercial Services. However, they failed to complete all the all the bid package. Therefore, that disqualified them due to those technicalities. The next lowest bidder was J.J. Newell Concrete, and therefore we are requesting to reward J.J. Newell with a 2017-2018 MFT sidewalk replacement removal contract.
Okay, motion would be in order to approve J. Newell and Company in the amount of $45,375.
So moved. Second.
Somebody want to tell me who went first here?
Tom Inman.
Alderman Inman. On a motion, seconded by Alderwoman Oberlin. Questions or comments in regards to the awarding of the bids? Roll call, please.
Marco Cole Pietro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The second item for consideration and seeking approval for this evening is the 2017 MFT contract for resurfacing of paved roads. On July 20th, bids were opened for the resurfacing project. We had 4 companies bid. The low bid was P.T. Farrell. Their bid came in at $243,914.30. Therefore, we are requesting to award the 2017 MFT maintenance contract to P.T. Farrell. The following streets are scheduled for resurfacing. That is Hoffman Street, Caton Crest Drive, Caton Crest Court, Eldorado Drive, and J.C. Court. We seek approval for that.
Motion would be in
So
order.
moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Cola Di Pietro. And again, both of these items, as the city administrator's items, were all discussed last week at the July 31st work session. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Marco Cole Pietro.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I have 2 other items in your packet as informational. The first one I'd like to briefly discuss is the valve exercising program, which started this morning, and we expect that to follow through until September 22nd, weather permitting. We are looking at exercising 300 water main valves. This will be done at the Renwick Club, Carolina Lakes, and Zousa Homes subdivision. Again, that is started today, and we expect to have that project completed on the 22nd of September of this year.
Tony, when we do these, do we notify the homeowners association?
We have postings that go out. We also have it on our website.
Okay.
And we don't do direct calls.
Okay.
But we do send informationals either on our website and also cable TV.
Okay, thank you.
The other item is just the quarterly newsletter for your review. I'd be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Well, Tony, thank you for the newsletter. I did have one question. It says page 5, then on the back, page 7. Are we missing a page?
No, I think it was just
Just
misnumbered.
no, okay.
Yes.
I just was hoping I didn't miss something.
No, I apologize for that.
No,
I think
it's-
with
Just
We
wanted to
ended
know.
up trimming a little bit with some of the pictures and that, so I think the numbers
Okay.
got
Thank you.
turned
Thanks for
around.
including that, Tony. We
You're welcome.
appreciate it. Tony, approximately what's that gonna cost us for the valve exercising?
The cost for
Yeah.
this year, I believe it's going to be $9,000. I can get you the exact number.
No, that's close, that's good, no problem.
Okay, anything else, Tony?
Yeah, I gotta ask Tony another question.
Sure.
I was going down the street the other day and I seen one of the fellows used to put meters in the house. We got him out there in the street working, right? Is he gonna be out there for long?
Who's that?
I don't know, I didn't mention his name.
For meter
Yeah. No,
replacement?
he was working out there with the rest of the guys on the street. The fellow's a little hard of hearing, we got him out in the street working. I don't think that's a good place for a guy that doesn't hear very well.
We have several assignments. We use them as fill in where needed. We have a signed program that he's also going to be in charge of. He's also going to still be assisting with the meter changeout program. So there's a lot of fill-in work. We're trying to catch up on our street sweeping as well, so he'll be tackling some of those tasks.
Well, who's putting the meters in now and checking on meter and all that?
Well, we have UMI is doing a meter changeout, and we have another gentleman that's with the water department right now tackling the water, the meters and meter reading.
Well, I hope if we have a break or something, they don't put that guy in the hood, because he'll never holler if there's a cave-in. He'll never hear him hollering. And he shouldn't be out there with cars out in the street the way he hears. It's very dangerous out there for that guy. I think we gotta get him off the street. Somebody's gotta be responsible for putting him out there. That's not a good thing to do. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I did put a letter in your packet from the Village of Algonquin, from the village president. I would like to read it for public record. This came on August 1st, 2017, addressed to myself. It says, "On behalf of the Village of Algonquin and our affected residents, I want to thank you and your community for assisting our Public Works Department with the July 2017 Fox River flooding event. Our staff requested assistance through the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network, and your municipality provided the essential manpower and equipment to assist our crews. With your help, we were able to fill and distribute over 40,000 sandbags to our residents along the river, assisting them in protecting their properties and families from pending disaster. It's quite comforting to know we have such good neighbors in municipal government who are willing to assist at a moment's notice. Our village could not have responded so favorably to the flooding without your agency's assistance. As always, Algonquin stands ready to return the favor when needed. Thank you again for your community's immediate and incredible support in our time of need. Sincerely, John C. Schmidt, Village President." So thank you, Tony. I know we just joined this about 6 months ago, did we not, Tony?
Yes, sir, we
This
did.
organization, and again, this is municipalities working together in time and need for the good of everybody. And if anything was disastrous was to happen in the city of Cresthill, we would have the same response from everybody that's in this organization. So hats off to you for having us join this organization and for the work our guys provided to help out during the flooding up north.
Well, thank you, and I'd like to thank the two members that responded to that. If you are not aware, they did make a cameo on WGN when they were running some footage on the sandbagging operations. You could see them in the background, so guys were teasing them about that, but it was good to belong to that organization, and like you said, Mayor, it reciprocates for all communities that are members.
Okay, any other questions to Tony?
No, just great job, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay.
doing that.
Thanks, Tony. Moving on, Community Development Department, our Director of Economic Development, Scott McMaster. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no agenda items this evening, but I do have a couple of announcements. After what I guess is a long vacation, Mr. Waffles has made a return to the city of Crest Hill. So they are now open at the corner of Theodore and Prairie. I stopped in there last week to congratulate them, introduce myself, so hopefully they will have a viable business there. They're in that same strip center as Bada Brew and as Marshallone's. So if you have the opportunity, please stop by and patronize that business. Another thing that we were able to get news of last week was that Caroline Lakes was ranked number 33 out of 55 communities that cater to 55 and older active adult communities on a website called 55places.com. And that's a very notable website where a lot of people go to get information about active adult communities in their area. So I just want to congratulate, first of all, the city of Crest Hill and Tom Inman. I know he lives there. But you can find more information about that, about the news of Caroline Lakes on our website and at 55places.com.
And that was nationally, correct,
Yeah.
Scott?
That's correct, yes, throughout the U.S. So that's number 33 out of 55 across the country. So
I believe there were only 2 in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken.
there was 3. There was one in,
3.
I believe the one in Plainfield, and then one in, I believe,
Huntley.
Huntley, correct. So that's a pretty good company. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is it.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I have been noticing lately, and this is on the weekend, so I think it's intentional, a flurry of signage up and down Route 30 and at Larkin for this particular business that's not even in Crest Hill. And they're just one right after the other, right after the other, and they go up either Friday, and it's just, you know, there had to be, did you see them? 30, 40 signs up and down 30 in Larkin for this sale. And it's not even a business in Crest Hill, and they're
Sure.
not supposed to be there. What do we do on the weekends like that, you know, aside from getting outside the road, plucking them out?
Are they, I would assume they're just there for the weekend and
Right, but
somebody
they
comes and
shouldn't be
grabs
there in
them.
the parkway
Yeah, I
at
agree. I
all.
mean, that would require some kind of code enforcement over the weekend, I suppose. So something we can talk about at a staff level and see if that's something we can take care of.
I mean, I'm sure they're aware of the rules and
Yeah.
just do this thinking no one will.
Yeah, those are
Say anything.
typically called bandit signs
Yeah,
when somebody
well.
does that, and that's the reason is they put them out and get them off before anybody can get to them. So we'll discuss it at a staff level. And
I'll
see
tell
how
you
we
the
can-
name too.
Sure.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yep.
Any other questions of Scott? Okay, thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Moving on to the police department, our police chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I do not have anything on the agenda this evening. I do have reports on file. I will entertain any questions.
Any questions of the police chief? Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Moving on to the mayor's report. You have a memo in your packet. I received a phone call from Miss Nikki Zarnecki from the Lockport Township Park District. She's requesting waiver of the permit fee for the annual Kelly Miller Circus, which is run and patrolled by the Lockport Township Park District and their police department. It's going to be held on Tuesday, September 26, 2017. There's 2 shows. I believe it's 4:30 and 7:30. And it is on the property on Renwick Road, right next to the golf course. We have waived this fee for the past several years for the good of the community for the circus, so I would ask for your concurrence for the waiver of the permit fee. She will still, the Park District will still have to go through all the inspections and all the permits required of the building department in addition to the inspections of the tent that will be put up for the day. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Inman, seconded by Alderman Verche for a waiver for the Kelly Miller Circus. Questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Coldepietro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next on the agenda is an ordinance amending Chapter 5.08 of the City of Crest Hill Code of Ordinances, allowing for the decrease in the number of Class A liquor licenses from 8 to 7. I did receive a call last Tuesday from the owner of Kickers Lounge, which is located at 2357 Plainfield Road, and the liquor license applicant said that her state liquor license expired on July 31st, and she is not going to renew it for personal reasons with her family. So as it is our process here for the last 9 years, I ask for the reduction of 1 from 8 Class A liquor licenses for taverns in the city of Crest Hill to 7.
So
Motion
moved,
would be in
Mayor.
order.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
John Verche?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Marco Colapietro?
Yes.
Tom Inman?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1742.
Okay. Thank you. Two announcements that I'd like to make. Crest Hill Boys Baseball, again, for the third year in a row, the Pony League All-Star Team went to Bay City, Michigan, representing the city of Crest Hill and the state of Illinois for their Pony All-Star Tournament. Unfortunately, they won their first game and they lost their next two. But they are the Illinois State Champions. Again, the last time they were Illinois State Champions was 2012. But they have gone on to this tournament for the last 3 years. So we will be honoring them on September 5th. It'll be Tuesday, September 5th, because that is Labor Day weekend. The whole team will be here with the coaches and the families for their resolution. So we congratulate them on a well-done season. They just came up just a little bit short. And I just want to make comment in regards to our city picnic yesterday. I certainly want to thank the committee, Alderwoman Oberlin and Alderman Albert, all the volunteers, anybody that helped in any way for the picnic yesterday. It was a tremendous success. The weather cooperated with us when they said it was going to rain all day, but it turned out to be a beautiful day. We had one of our largest crowds because the weather was so nice yesterday. There's a lot of hard work that goes into a picnic, so I certainly, my hat's off to the committee, to anybody that lifted a finger to help yesterday in any way or fashion. Thank you very much. I hope the community enjoyed the picnic, and we look forward to it again next year. So that is all for the mayor's report. I'd be certainly glad to answer any questions that anyone may have. Okay, moving on to city clerk's report. Our city clerk, Vicki Hackney. Good evening, Vicki.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have no items on the agenda this evening. Just a reminder that the Crest Hill Summer Garage Sale does start Thursday, August 17th, runs through Sunday, August 20th. The permit fee is $5. The last day to register is next Tuesday, which is August 15th. Maps and lists will be available in our office on Wednesday, August 16th, the day prior. If you have any questions, please feel free to call our office at 741-5100. And one item I do have to announce is today in our office, Lori Thrasher has 29 years with the city, so congratulations to her. Great accomplishment for all of us, so thank you, and that's all the items I have this evening.
Any questions of city clerk? Thanks, Vicki.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving on, city treasurer's report. Our treasurer, Glenn Conklin. Good evening, Glenn.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I'd like to report regular and overtime payroll from 7/10/17 through 7/23/17 in the amount of $203,712.58. We have additional comp time payroll for the quarter of $20,934.22. The only action item I have this evening is I seek approval of our list of bills, which is in the amount of $1,965,776.61.
Glenn, I do have one question, and I apologize that I'm asking it now, but due to my activities over the weekend, I didn't really get to this until right before the meeting today. There's a reoccurring bill in several places that says Adelson, Brits, Kelly, Cooper. It just says services. What is that for?
Those are legal services?
That's John Keller.
Correct, that's our law, our labor law firm.
And do we know what these bills are for? Can we find out what these are for?
Correct. We had some, we're starting union negotiations as one, and there's been some ongoing issues in the police department that we've had Mr. Kelly present for. So it's a combination of those two things currently.
Okay.
Also, there's work comp payments for $400,000. Is that a yearly premium, or is it half a year or quarterly?
To be quite honest with you, I believe workers' comp typically settles out annually. I can check into that. What I would request, and this would have been a hard weekend for me to do it, but if I could get any questions that we have on the list of bills, if I could be asked sometime Sunday night well, Monday morning at the latest, I can actually have invoices, any details that you have ready for council, and would encourage that question being asked, at meeting for anything that's an anomaly there. There was also another one on waste services, which was actually a double, or a 2-month bill. So we did have some higher than typical bills there.
And I'm sorry, I can jump in, and you're talking about the swarm workman's comp
Correct.
payment? Correct, that is a once yearly premium that we pay into. So it's about this time every year that we see that.
And I just want to reiterate, I apologize. Normally I read the
Oh.
packet sooner, but I was a little busy up until,
I get it.
sorry.
And I have a short memory, so glad you asked. I'm glad I knew it. No more questions, then, or I won't have the answer.
Okay, we need a motion. Do we
So
not?
moved.
Oh,
Yes, we do.
second.
Motion by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderwoman Overland for the list of bills. Questions or comments anymore? Roll call, please.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Marco Colo DePietro.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
John Verche.
No. The reason I vote no, the mayor keeps taking $50 a month for traveling, for city business. We have 2 brand-new vehicles sitting in the parking lot over there, sitting there 24/7. Start using those, Ray. Answer is still no.
Didn't we vote on that a long time ago?
We voted on that in 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
What?
We voted on this
We voted on that.
We
2009.
voted on it, we voted on a $50 per
Right.
month stipend for the mayor.
Well,
We
let's-
did it
let's
to every
drop it
mayor.
now. Let's start using the city cars.
But we voted to give him that.
I know.
So why would he use
No,
the
we
city
can
car
do
if
it-
we
do it
vote?
again. Don't laugh about it. It's not funny.
We're-
Because something had been going on for years.
We're voting, not discussing. Can we continue the roll call?
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
I forgot what we were voting on.
List of
Oh,
bills.
yes.
bills.
Sorry.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, Glenn?
Thank you, sir.
That's it from me.
Any questions of the city treasurer? Okay, thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
Unfinished business, we do have an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Caton Commercial, Crest Lake Commons. For council's recollection, we did table this from the July 17th city council meeting. We did bring it back on the work session table July 31st. This is case V-17-4-6-1. The request of Crest Lake Commons for a front yard setback for the signage at 16111 to 16143 Weber Road. So with that, I would ask if council has any questions. The representative from the sign company is in the audience. If anybody has any questions in regards to the work session that we discussed in length last Monday night, feel free to ask at this time.
Mayor, I make a motion to concur with the
Well,
Plan
hang on,
Commission's
Nate.
request.
Hang on. We've got a little process here that we have to go to. Okay, there are no questions. Is there any comments from either Scott or Heather in regards to this case?
Not this time.
Okay, let me ask, is there anyone in the audience, for the record, that would like to speak for or against case V-17-4-6-1, the request of Crest Lake Commons for a front yard setback for signage at 16111 to 16143 Weber Road? You need to come to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional. Second request, anyone who would like to speak for or against the request of Crest Lake Commons for a variance and setback for a sign ordinance at 16111 to 16143 Weber Road, please come to the podium, state your name for the record, address is optional. And for the third time, anybody who would like to speak for or against the request of Crest Lake Commons? Let the record show that no one has approached the podium. You do have in your packet an ordinance approving a variation to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of Caton Commercial, Crest Lake Commons. Motion would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Marco Colo DePietro.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance number is 1743.
Okay, you are all good. Thank you for your patience, and good luck to you. Okay, anything else? There's nothing else on the unfinished business. Anybody? Okay, moving on to new business, we have an ordinance establishing a map amendment to Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of True Deliverance Ministries, which is located at 1298 Theodore Street, the old Crest Hill Library property. So I will turn it over to Scott McMaster for some opening comments in regards to this Plan Commission case.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a pretty simple one. This is obviously rezoning from B1 to R3 for a church. There is a representative here that may want to ask questions and receive questions from the council if so being.
Hey, hang on, anything else, Scott?
That is it.
Heather, do you need to add anything?
Not this time.
Okay, I will ask City Council then if they have any questions for either Heather or Scott in regards to the request of the motion to rezone from B1 to R3 for a church.
Just one question. What is the formal definition of R3?
R3 would be residential, I think, multi-unit.
And a church needs that?
The church needs a special use in residential in order to operate.
So they want to rezone it to R3 and then apply for special use on top of it?
Correct.
So they'll be R3 no matter what, the special use stays with them?
Correct.
Okey doke.
Any other questions? Is it Robert?
No.
No?
Larry.
Larry, okay. Larry, I had Robert from the minutes of the Plan Commission on here, so.
Robert Breedy is actually the, he's kind of, I think he's the head minister there, correct?
Yes, he's
So,
the deacon there. He's actually away for a couple of days.
Okay. What I need, Larry, I just need your name for the record. Your address is optional.
Okay, my name is Larry Franklin.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add to this discussion?
Yes, due to the nature of the building itself, we're trying to bring everything up to code. There is a form that we submitted, and we're asking that the fee of $1,000 be waived, and I believe that is the special use form that you may have in your package.
Okay, we can't do that tonight because any expenditure of money has to be on the agenda 48-hour notice.
Okay.
So we would not be able to take that action tonight. So right now, tonight, we just need to concentrate on the Plan Commission recommendation from the B1 to the R3
Okay.
for the church rezone.
All right.
Okay? So we can address that when you come back for the special use, if that's your wish.
Yes.
Okay? Any questions of Larry in regards to the property or their intentions for the old library building?
Larry, how big is your congregation? How big is the church?
Right now, we have a total of maybe 27 at the most.
I see according to the minutes, there's 31 parking spots there.
Correct.
There's no way of doing a business zoning with a special use for a church.
No, it's under our zoning code, it requires residential use.
We can't go keep a B1 and put that special use?
The way our zoning code is written, churches are permitted in an R zoning.
The only thing wrong, if the church doesn't go, they can make an apartment building out of it.
Correct.
Don't like that. Theodore Street was all zoned, I think, B1, isn't it right?
That property?
I said Theodore Street, all Theodore Street, they got just about B1, isn't it?
There's
For
several
business.
residences.
No, I mean, there is residents, but we wanted all B1.
Well, hopefully, someday,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's kind of a concern of mine too, is that, in the future, if the church moves out, now it's got a permanent R3 zoning.
But the special use would stay just with the church property, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right, but the R3 zoning would stay with the property.
But if the church closes, it goes strictly R1, nothing else.
Zoning is permanent unless the property owner comes in and requests a
Correct, and
change.
it's an
Yeah.
R3, it wouldn't just revert to an R1, that would just be a third classification. Whoever would want that property would either keep it as R3 or apply for a different zoning.
But isn't that entire area there R3?
That is correct, the
Correct.
apartment complexes are all R3 next to that. So it fits in with that
Right.
adjacent use.
The only different thing would be the strip mall next to the old library in between where the pool was. That's a business zone, the rest of it's R3.
Correct.
That is the maintenance garage, I believe, for the apartment complex.
Well, it
now.
used to be
Right.
a bit, it used to be
It used to be a
7-Eleven.
strip mall, right.
With Coca-Cola Slurpees.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? issues? Anything else you'd like to add, Larry?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, let me ask if anybody would like to speak for or against the request of True Deliverance Ministries, case RZ-17-1-7-1, located at 1298 Theodore Street, to rezone from B1 to R3 for a purposes of a church. You need to come to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Second time, anybody would like to speak for or against the request of True Delivery Ministries, case RZ 17-1-7-1, located at 1298 Theodore Street, to rezone from B1 to R3. Please come to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. And a third request. Anybody would like to speak for or against the request of True Deliverance Ministries? Please come to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that no one has approached the podium. City Council, this was approved at the Plan Commission. Again, you have an ordinance establishing a map amendment to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property, the petition of True Deliverance Ministries. Motion will be in order.
So moved.
Second.
We have motion by Alderman Inman, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments of the motion?
Mayor, I just want to state my comments before we vote.
Okay.
I have absolutely nothing against the idea of a church going in there. I just have an issue with that zoning. I know it goes in line with the rest of the area, but realistically, there's nothing to stop anybody from putting apartments in there if, God forbid, the church doesn't, isn't successful, because it would have a permanent R3 zoning. So, that's all. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
John Verche,
I have no trouble with the ministry, sir, but I just don't like the zoning change. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I mean, we can do somehow with the B1, I'd be 100% behind you. But I just don't like to change it from B1 to the R3. That's the only factor I have that I don't like. Sorry about that.
No problem.
is that a no, Mr. Verche? John,
No,
is that a no? Okay,
oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right. Tina Oberlin,
Yes.
Marco Coldepietro,
Yes.
Nate Albert,
No.
and Tom Inman.
Yes.
You missed me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Claudia Gazal, I
Yes.
apologize.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
1744.
Okay, thanks, Larry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure you guys will be coming back for the special use soon. All right. Okay, that is all of the items under new business, unless there's anything from anybody else. Okay. Moving on, committee liaison reports. Anybody?
Yep. Well, it's time. I want to thank everyone for, on my end for yesterday. I want to first thank Tony Torres and Brian Sipolinski, and was the other gentleman John? I'm sorry.
John Kemp.
Yeah, John Kemp, who were so great about bringing the tents over and getting everything set up. And Tony stuck around to schlep stuff all over the park with us. I really appreciate that, Tony. Thank you so very much. Lillian Sepon, once again, for her wonderful cooking. What a great job she did. Once again, she ran out of food, underestimating the appetites of the Crest Hill residents. The Masons and the Crest Hill Police Department, thank you so very much for that service you did. I know there was probably about 20 kids that got taken care of yesterday. That's really great to hear. And your officers, once again, were absolutely fabulous in their job watching the bar later on. So thank you for that. I want to thank my co-chair, Nate Albert, for all his work and help with the bar, and he has his own thank yous, I know. I want to thank my neighbors, Mary, who sat there night after night, stripping wristbands into pieces in Ziplocs for me, and my neighbor, Jimmy Baldy, who once again helped my son and I schlep all the stuff over to the park for several days. I really appreciate that. That's very time-consuming, especially in a Kia Soul, not a lot of room. Rick Cabay at St. Joe's is always so helpful and such a great guy, and I just can't thank him enough for all his insight and his helpfulness, and when there's issues, he's so quick to respond. So I want to thank him once again. Dan Sizik and his wife, who sat there at the table we had set up for the DAVs, Disabled American Veterans. They were trying to get business to sell raffles, and we ended up raising about $600 for them. I'll have a final total later, so that's good. Then I want to thank Glenn and Heather, who worked at the tickets for me, and Scott, you were there a little bit, I know. Marco and Lynn and his wife, who gave up several hours in the busiest time, so they got broken in really good this year. I want to thank Scott's wife, Linda Dyke, who was there almost the entire day, selling tickets and doing wristbands. That was so very, Scott, please tell her again how gracious I thank her. That was a lifesaver. And she also brought along a couple of her friends, Carol Randich and Michelle Cox, who worked a good part of the day there with me. Linda Streisick, Jackie Matthews, Regina and Lindsay Cabay, and Natalie Manley, one of our state reps, came over and worked. She worked the booth over there with us too. So I so appreciate all of their help. We couldn't do it without these volunteers. I also want to thank our sponsors. We have Terry Darcy, Christopher Burke Engineering, Newmark Credit Union, JM Printers, always there, Robinson Engineering, Strand Engineering, Hobo, Walgreens, Colesville Brothers, Republic Services, Wormer, Rogers, Duran, and Razan, and the Joliet Montessori School, who come every year and take care of the children. And we had a new lady this year because Heather is gone, so she had trial by fire this year, but she'll be more ready next year. So I want to thank all of them. Without their participation, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And last but not least, I want to thank our city clerk, Vicki Hackney, who just was such a help to me this year. She was just there in the end with the raffles, laminating 900 pages at my house again. And I so appreciate her dedication, helping me with all of that, because it is really time consuming. So thank you so much, Vicki, for all you do and all your office does to help with the picnic. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank my son Quinn, who not only does he stay there and run the bar all day, but he schleps things back and forth. He goes to the store and hauls stuff with me. He just works very hard on this. And somebody asked him yesterday at the picnic, do you work for the diocese? He goes, no, I work for my mother, but I don't get paid. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I just want to thank everybody, because I had so many residents come up to me yesterday. It was astounding. You know, we beat the rain, which was a godsend. But they just came up to me and they just wanted to thank us for such a wonderful picnic, and they would tell me how they look forward to this picnic all year long. They can't wait for this picnic, that it's such a great family day, which is what it's all about, and how much they appreciate that we do this for them every year. And that, you know, when you're feeling tired and, you know, you're on your 14th hour with no sleep and your contacts have dried your eyes, and somebody comes up and tells you that, it just makes it all worthwhile. Because that's what it's for. It's for our residents and our families, and I just, that really made me feel good to hear that from so many people yesterday. So I want to thank all the people that came to it as well, and all the bands and everybody. And Nate, now you're going to be up. It's your turn, buddy.
Well, Tina, you did a fantastic job yesterday, and you know, I echo all the comments that she said. It turned out to be a real nice day. I was watching the weather all week, and it showed rain, you know, every day for Sunday up until the picnic, and nothing. Beautiful day. So behind the bar, I just want to thank Jan and Steve Serdar, Ada Martino, Claudia Gazelle, Barb Scolaire, Joe Pesavento, Mark and Dave Seifert, Ashley Motika, Jesse, and I know it's not McGuire, but we'll just say Jesse McGuire. Heather's husband, Jan Plateau, Vicki Hackney, Larry Contos, Greg Grubasich, Bob and Michelle Palia, and on standby we had Joe Casagrande and Bill O'Connor, who volunteered to help. We didn't end up needing their services. And then, of course, up on the hill we had Ray Solomon and his family, the Walters and Morrises, and I believe you had somebody else up there with you, Ray?
Jim Murphy.
And Jim Murphy. So thank you for everybody that helped out behind the bar. It was nice to have representation from city council and city staff, and it was great to see so many great Crest Hill residents there yesterday. So we look forward to next year.
Anybody else? Committee liaison reports? Okay. City council comments. These are positive city council comments. Anything you'd like to share with your constituents? Anybody like to go first this evening?
I will.
Alderwoman Overland, Ward 3.
Well, I want to congratulate Lori Thrasher on 29 years. That's quite an achievement in any one job. And I know, you know, having dedicated almost 30-year employees is not something you see a lot anymore. So congratulations to her. And thank you once again, everybody.
Alderman Cola DiPietro.
Just congratulations to Tina and Nate for a successful picnic. As Tina said, there was no let-up in the ticket line from 5 to 10 p.m. It was kind of crazy. Never experienced anything like that before. I'd also like to congratulate Crest Hill resident Tim Graff, who at the age of 60, who's the founder of Graff Speed Enhancement, established state records in the 100 and 200 at the USA Track and Field Illinois Masters for the age group of 60 to 64. And congratulations to the Crest Hill Pony All-Stars for being Illinois state champions. And last, just a reminder that Festa Italiana is this Saturday and Sunday. So come on by Sunday after 3 and I can pour you a beer.
You know how to do that?
I think so.
Ward 4. Alderman Albert.
Since we're talking picnics and festivals, just want to remind everybody that the Crest Hill Lions Club is having their picnic at St. Joe's Park on Labor Day weekend, Sunday, September 3rd, from 12 to 10 p.m. We got Vintage Wood playing, and we also have the baked potatoes. We got bingo all day, car show, kids' activities. So if you missed yesterday's picnic, come on out on September 3rd. Thank you.
Alderman Newman.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to the events committee. I was on that committee for quite a while, and I know what goes into that. That was the first one I missed, as a matter of fact, when I apologize for that, but I couldn't help it. Also, congratulations to Lori. And I'd like to congratulate the members of Caroline Lakes on their national ranking. We all know that builders and developers don't make communities. People do. And I'm very proud of the people that I live with. Thank you very much.
Word 2, Alderwoman Gazal.
Congratulations to Lori on her many years of dedication. Also, I just want to remind everyone, school will be starting a week from this coming Wednesday, and I'm begging, please, please, please stop on the stop sign. There's going to be a lot of kids at the stop sign waiting for the buses. I go over this literally every meeting. Ed, you know how we're trying to work on this. This is really important to me. When I stand in there, it's amazing to see how many people, they just like pass the stop sign. I've been taking pictures, take videos, and you know, like I've been whining a lot about this. But please, you know, if you don't care about your kids, we care about ours. Thank you. And thank you for the committee for doing a great event. And I just want to know, what is my tips? Because I got a lot of tips yesterday. I'm just kidding. You don't have to.
They went in the DAV's bucket.
Word 1, Alderman Verche.
I'd like to congratulate Lori for the years of service to the city and congratulate the boys' baseball team for coming in where they did this year in the state of Illinois. Too bad they couldn't get it further ahead.
Congratulations and thanks to Lori for all her years here with the city. It's a long time for anybody at a job, and also congratulations to the boys' baseball team for winning the state again. That alone's an accomplishment, so.
Okay, public comment. Anybody would like to address city council need to come to the podium, state your name for the record, your address is optional.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Nicole Sanchez Paramo. I live in the Zauza neighborhood.
Okay.
And my concern today is about the Amazon that's coming in October, the traffic control on Division and Weber.
Okay.
And one access in our neighborhood. And I want to know what's going to happen.
Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to discuss this issue? Okay. Well, I will tell you, Nicole, and I wrote some notes down here.
Great.
The building that was built was in the summer of 16, as you know, since you're just kitty corner from there.
Right.
And it was a spec building for 438,000 square feet. And we were hoping that it was going to be one user, because that would be better for the whole community, instead of having 4 different users in there with a lot of different transportation modes in there. You know, that business park was put in place in the late 1990s. And that was what gave you the continuity for your subdivision to be built, for Caroline Lakes to be built, for Kate and Crest to be built, because we have to be contiguous with everything we do. And everybody knew that that was slated for a business park that was going to be for industrial, commercial usage. Okay, and the business park has built up over the last 9 years. From one empty building, now we have one empty lot left. So I agree with you, but you know, it all plays into being good for the community. With that in mind, we were very cognizant in regards to the infrastructure work when this building was slated to be built last summer. And as you know, we used to have that offset intersection, the back of Caroline Lakes and by your subdivision, and it was a nightmare. So when this building and the building next to it last summer, the cold storage building for Rich Foods went in, we put in the new Chernovic Lane, we put in Ladise Parkway, we made a right out, one-way only onto Division Street from the old Enterprise Drive. So we put a new traffic signalization there. That has improved immensely to the flow of traffic on Division Street, to the safety of Division Street. We also are slated to do the intersection of Gaylord and Division Street this summer yet. P.T. Farrell has the bid. We're just waiting now for them to finish up Caton Farm and Weber. We're actually waiting for Van Mack to put up the traffic signalization there, and then they're going to put the final code on up to the bridge. And then hopefully they're going to move the equipment over to Gaylord and Division Street. It's about a 6-week project that we're being told it's going to be. It's going to be new radiuses, it's going to straighten out the intersection, it's going to be turn lanes, it's going to be traffic signalization. We actually went through a process with the federal government. We got a grant for 80, they call it an 80-20 grant. The 80% is paid by the federal government, so out of a $1.2 million project for that intersection, the city of Crest only has to pay $200,000. So we saved the residents over $1 million. So that, in effect, when that's done too, that's going to improve the flow and safety of Division Street. In regards to your question, you see the sign on the corner of the southwest corner of Weber Road and Division Street for
Yes,
Ricky Rockets.
yes.
You know, we're in negotiations with them now, but when they come in, they are going to have to do major improvements. They're going to have to do major improvements to that intersection at Weber Road and Division Street also, okay? And Randich Road, north on Weber Road, there is an inlet there and an out, and in and out. Hopefully that will, when that business area is developed further, we'll probably have to have that road go through, so you will have 2 exits going into your subdivision on Zaza, one on Division Street and one off Randich Road off of Weber Road. So, you know, the building that's going in, the Amazon building, and how it was told to us at city staff level was it's a sorting facility. And the sorting facility means that trucks will bring the items in. It's meant for items that are under the size of a large TV set, okay? They told us that many panel trucks will be coming in. And the panel trucks would be from the post office, from UPS, from FedEx, to pick up the packages and take them to their home bases. They're going to work staggered shifts. There's going to be staggered shifts at Amazon with all the employees, especially from August to December with the Christmas rush. You know, so we've worked through a lot of these issues. You can see they put up the big berm there. There's going to be trees on top of that berm also. That was all at Amazon's doing, okay? So they're doing everything they can to mitigate noise, to mitigate lights, to mitigate things that would happen there. But, you know, just like we did when we put up Old Dominion and Dayton Freight right across the street, you know, there were some issues. We dealt with them. We worked through it with the Zaza, the Renaissance Crossing individuals, with Caroline Lakes. We worked through all of that. We put in the new road. I think we've done awful lot to improve the safety and the flow of traffic. Now, I'm not gonna argue with you, there's gonna be more trucks, there's gonna be more cars, okay? But we put the infrastructure in place prior to, and, you know, we didn't wait for it all to come and then to do it. But, you know, also from the economic standpoint, when you look at what Amazon could bring to a municipality, and, you know, you've heard it, I'm sure you've seen the quotes in the paper, heard us on the radio, you know, the name recognition, the branding, but just the property taxes alone. If you have kids, I'm sure they, you know, to Richland School, you know, it's going to be a tremendous benefit to Richland School, the property taxes that are going to go to that, to Richland, to Lockport High School, to Joliet Junior College. That's 68% of your tax bill goes to those three entities, and it's no impact of children into that school district. So, you know, the benefits to the city of Crest Hill, we're going to certainly get our property tax share. We get 7% of that property tax bill. And then it's also going to be the utility taxes, both on gas and electric, that I pay, you pay, and every business owner in the city of Crest Hill pays, and Amazon will pay their fair share too. So, you know, all of those things taking into account, the branding, the name recognition, you know, I'll let Scott speak after I have here, but, you know, we have gotten a lot of phone calls lately, a lot of interest on the Weber Road corridor for future development, for food establishments, gas stations, banks, everything else. So that's all good stuff for the city of Crest Hill. And, you know, if we have issues, we'll certainly sit down, we can work with Amazon, we'll work with any of the businesses causing an issue, and we're going to try to work through it. So I hope I answered your question. I know it was a little long-winded, but I think that, you know, and we may not have thought of everything. And it's not going to be a perfect world, I understand that. But I think we've done everything that we could. You know, everybody wanted more economic development in the city of Crest Hill. This is kind of like the grand slam of economic development to have an Amazon. There's only 6 Amazons in the state of Illinois. So our name recognition has gone up and everything else. And I will just ask if Scott or Heather wants to add anything to what I've said.
I think, Ray, you hit it on the head that we'll work through any issues as they come in, and we are certainly waiting for that final component of Weber and Division with that development to make those further improvements to that intersection to really increase the amount of traffic that's getting through there at any time. So we are aware that it is going to impact that street, and we are still working every step of the way to see how we can minimize the impact and maximize the safety in that area.
Do we have a timeline for that area? I know you say that businesses are coming out there. What my big concern is that second entrance and exit from the Zauza neighborhood.
And unfortunately, that is sort of contingent on that developer when they get to that component, that phase of their development. So we have to work with them because it's private land in order to make that happen. So we are aware of it. We are working with them on it. It just depends on their speed of development.
And Amazon is looking for mid-October for an opening. Scott, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, and I will just, I will let you know, this isn't going to be truck traffic like you're seeing in Joliet. This is a fraction of the size of some of these facilities that are in Aurora and Joliet and Romeoville. So the truck traffic is not going to be as heavy as you may have experienced on Route 53 or anywhere else. So what has also been made clear to us is that Amazon is wanting to be very accommodatable to residents that live in the area. So if there's issues that come up that we can express to Amazon, they are more than happy to sit down with the city and work those through. So again, I believe this is going to be a very positive impact for the community. And as the mayor said, we are fielding quite a few calls of people who are now interested in doing something near Weber Road and Division. So if there's any continued concerns, you're more than welcome to contact me. I'd be happy to sit down with you and then address it with the economic development manager with Amazon.
So Amazon could take that under consideration, that second entrance to our neighborhood, if there is too much traffic between the, 400 to 800?
No, that wouldn't be.
There's no provisions like that in place?
Probably wouldn't be Amazon. Because Weber Road is a county road, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
It's when the 74 acres that is at the corner where Ricky Rockets is supposed to go. But there's going to be other development in that area besides that corner. And when that starts to build out is when there would be discussions and negotiations in regards to putting in that road. Because it was always meant, the cutout is there.
Yeah, it's been there for 10 years
plus. It's been there for a while. So
We've been waiting.
That will be part of the discussion when it comes to that property.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Council, anybody?
No, I've just been talking with Nicole for a while, and I totally understand her concern. Living in the community subdivision where there's one entrance is really, it's really hard.
Yeah.
So we can all like sit and say that I understand her concern. So we're all hoping that the intersection will open soon, and that I think will help a lot of that subdivision and their problems. But I do want to thank you like for taking the time and trying to reach to us, you know, and like I said earlier, anytime, you know, you have concern, we're here to help you.
Thank you.
So, you know, we can't read your mind, but we'll try to make the best of what we can to accommodate, you know, all the residents.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, Nicole, the main thing is just to remain patient, because that is, I know it's hard.
Taking a left out of there is already a
I-
little trying when trucks are doing 50 down there,
Yeah,
so.
I mean, the thing that's nice is that, like you said, the Weber Road, there will be another entrance, there will be another road there. I mean, it will go through, that's
We've heard it though.
guaranteed.
That's what we're scared of. We've heard it for 10 years, so we're scared that it's not going to happen.
Right,
and-
there has to be more
So-
development than just the corner of where we're at, so.
All right, thank you.
Okay?
Thanks.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Need to come to the podium, state your name for the record, address is optional. Okay, is there a need for an executive session, Heather?
No, there's not.
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, a motion for an adjournment by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman Verche. Questions or comments to the motion? Roll call, please.
Marcus Holden DePietro. Tina Oberlin. Nate Albert.
Yes.
Tom Inman.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
John Verche.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 8:03 PM. I thank you and good evening.
That last one really got me.